gonna tell you what to do, how to make me fall for you. You should learn that on your own. I'll play cool.
Super cute. It's just her, but she always comes through with the packaging, and I love, you know, the little character. These are the colors. I don't know if you guys can see. So I think that these colors resemble a lot like they resemble her money collection. I think it was her birthday palette or something like that. I'll include a photo around here somewhere, that way you can compare the colors. But yeah, this palette is like duplicative of that palette. The only thing I would say is the blues and the reds are the only thing different for this palette. It's beautiful. The colors were super easy to blend. They are but there's a ton of color kickback, and it happened with most of the colors that I used. I just wanted to kind of play around with all the colors and use as much as I can for this, you know, video, to show you guys how it comes on, how it applies. But everything overall blended really well. The colors are super pigmented. Again, the only thing was the fallout from the, or the, I'm sorry, the only thing was the kickback from the these colors. So for today's look, I'm going to use as many colors as I possibly can so you can see how each color looks and how pigmented the colors are and all that good stuff. Per the usual, I'm going to be using multiple brushes, and I'll include those in the description box below, but most of them will be from Morphe because I just bought like the whole kit, and so I'm trying to play around with them and see how good they work and how well they change the blending game for me. But the first color I'm going into is Come Aboard, and as you can see, it has a ton of fallout, so I'm just blowing it out the way. But this color is super pretty. Like, it's I want to say like a baby pink, and you guys know I love my pinks. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that as usual in my crease, and I'm going to go in circular motions and windshield wiper motions, and I'm just gonna get that pretty pink color all in my crease and bring it a little bit lower than my brow bone. I'm gonna go ahead and change out my brush, and I'm gonna dip into the shade Tight Ship, and it's just a darker pink. It's super pigmented. It's very pretty color. I'm gonna put that in my crease, and I'm gonna darken my crease area, and as I'm laying down the color, I'm going to blend in an upward motion. That way it can blend it in with the Come Aboard color. These two colors were like amazing to blend. Everything blended together so well, didn't take a lot of effort, just a few windshield wiper motions and a few circular motions, and like it was seamless. Changing my brush again, but this time we're gonna go ahead and dip into that chocolate colored called On Board. And you guys, when I say this palette takes very little effort, like I mean it. This palette is super beginner friendly. The colors are super pigmented, so a little goes a long way. I don't have to keep packing on and packing on and packing on. You know, the colors blend easy. They blend together so nicely. It's just, everything was just easy today. So if you're someone who's you know, a little bit intimidated by eyeshadows and the whole blending process, I would definitely recommend this palette, just because it took little to no effort to just get the colors to blend into each other. So this palette is definitely, you know, my top 5 of palettes that are easy to blend, along with the Too Faced Peach palette. I think it's called Just Peachy Mattes or something like that. Yeah, that palette is another palette that's really easy to blend, but for sure this one is on the top of the list as well. So I'm gonna take my flat brush, and this flat brush I use to conceal my eyebrows. So I'm using any excess product on my brush on my lids, and I call this like the lazy girl cut crease, because I'm basically half-assed doing it. Like, I'm not really carving out my crease and, you know, really laying the concealer on. I'm just using the excess product, and I'm just putting it on my lid a little bit under my crease, just so that the color pops a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the shade Yacht Party, and that's like a sparkly burgundy-ish kind of color, burgundy pink. It came out really pink on my actual eyelid, but it's super cute. And again, this is another color that's pigmented, and you know, I just love her glitter and sparkle colors. So yeah guys, I'm just applying that sparkle color on top of the concealer. And I did it that way so it can shine through a little bit more, so it can be even more pigmented. Just because when you have eyeshadow and then you put glitter over, sometimes it kind of dulls it out. That is why I use the concealer, and that just kind of, you know, just let it have its moment, I guess. So I went ahead and I switched brushes to the brush that I used for the shade On Board. I didn't pick up any extra product. I just used whatever was already on the brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend it with the glitter color. Okay, for this other eye, you guys, the shade Captain Cutie was literally calling my name from the get-go, and I didn't want to use it. For the first eye, I was kind of like, I'm just going to go with something a little bit more, you know, bold, I guess, and that's why I went with the pink Yachty Party color. But I am so glad I dipped into this color, because look at that pigment. Look at how beautiful that color is. It's like a baby pink and crystal kind of mixed together color, and it is just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and I loved it. And once again, I'm going to use the brush that I used for the brown shade, and I'm just going to blend out the edges. Now I'm going to dip into the color Got the Blues, and I wanted to use it just because it was another sparkle color and it's blue, so I don't really use blue too often, and you know, for the sake of the palette, I wanted to just try it. So I'm using that for the bottom lash line. It's not as pigmented as I expected it to be, but I'm going to play around with that and then the red color in the palette, and I'll put together a look another day for you guys. With that same brush, I'm going to dip into the darker blue color, and that is called Blue Ocean. And holy smokes, guys, like, the color output for this shade was crazy. I mean, it was super pigmented and it was very dark, and it was a better blue color than the sparkle shade Got the Blues for sure. Now I'm going to go into the color Unsinkable, and this is another pretty color that I wanted to try. It is like another, like a pale pink kind of look, and it's a super glittery and shiny, and I thought that would be perfect for the brow highlight. I'm going to be using the Go With The Float shade for the highlight for my inner eye corner, and that is more like a silvery sparkle shade, and that one came out pretty pigmented. It did take me a little while to just pack on the color. I don't know if it's because the brush I'm using just picked up, you know, a little bit of product at a time, but it's also a pretty nice shade. So in total for this eye look, I used 8 shades, and I would say 7 out of 8 were like A+ in my book. I wasn't too impressed with the color Got the Blues, but I'm going to play around with that and use maybe a different brush and apply it on my lid and do a different kind of eye look and see if my mind changes, or if, you know, the pigment comes out better and more vibrant. Now I'm going to go ahead and dip into the lip kit, and the lip kit is called Kiss Me Sailor, and it's a part of the Sailor collection. And you guys, the lip color is so beautiful. I absolutely love it, and I think this is my new fave. I don't know, it's something about pale pinks that get me. The lip liner is super cute too, and I can definitely see myself just using that shade of the lip liner and throwing on some gloss and calling it a day. Okay, Kylie, you did the damn thing with this lipstick, because this liquid lip is beautiful. The pale pink is perfect. It completely matches the palette, and it lasts so long. After lips comes lashes, and the lashes are called Shady. Now, I loved how these lashes gave me the cat eye appearance. I loved how natural they looked. But I will say that they took me forever to put on, and when I did get them on, they didn't stay on, and I think that's because the lash line is so thin, like you can't really put too much glue on it. And if you're like me and you completely suck at putting lashes on in the first place, I wouldn't go with these next time. I really wanted these lashes to work for me because that's kind of the majority reason why I got this collection. But overall, I really enjoyed this collection. I also have the eyeshadow sticks that I will use in a future tutorial. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be a part of the Prissy gang. And if you guys liked what you saw, like what you heard, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that notification button. That way you're notified every time I post a new video. And thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you soon.